everybody, Yankee here. I'm sure most of you out there remember Judge Benitez in California, or Saint Benitez, as a lot of people know him. He is a judge in California that dared to go against the elitist government there, the ruling class in California. He actually sided with the Constitution against some of their unconstitutional gun laws. He struck down assault weapons ban. He struck down mag limits. He's been working for the people and not for the politicians, and they don't like that. So ever since this happened, they've been looking for a way to discredit him and to punish him. And they've finally done it. They started an investigation a while back because of something a lawyer complained about, and now they have announced the punishment on Benitez. And before we get into it, I think you're going to see that this is clearly just retaliation against him for siding with the people and not siding with the elitist government in California. And I think it's really clear when you actually look at what's happening here that they're just trying to discredit him so that they can stand up and say, this judge that struck down these laws we passed, well, it's because he's a rogue judge. He's obviously a bad guy. That's what they're doing here. They're not actually trying to punish him for anything he did wrong. Like I said, what they did is they said, well, let's see if we can find something to get this guy in trouble for. So they went and they looked and they found a lawyer complaint against him, a complaint an attorney filed after he lost a suit, which is commonplace. There isn't a judge sitting right now that doesn't expect this to happen after a trial, especially a criminal trial. There will be complaints filed by the losing side. It's just part and parcel of the actual event. It's common. So they found this complaint where an attorney of a man that was in court who told the judge that his daughter was going down the wrong path. She was becoming a career criminal, that she was experimenting with drugs at 13 years old. And Benitez brought her up front, put handcuffs on her and said, this is where you don't want to end up. This is where your behavior is going to end you up. You're going to be up here as a defendant against the state, and you're going to go to prison. And you don't want that to happen. That's all he did. And I used to work for CPS, been in a lot of courtrooms, seen way worse than this. This is nothing. I've seen judges take children of career criminals who say that, hey, they're following my path, send them to juvenile detention for the day. I've even seen them send them to adult detentions just to try to scare them straight. That's why we have the Scared Straight program. That's basically all he did, a very minor version of Scared Straight. But the lawyer complained. The dad didn't complain, it was the lawyer. So they used this to launch an investigation. And even though there was clearly no wrongdoing, they said that, all of his defenses against the charges are not convincing. In other words, they're not convincing us to go against the people that put us in power. You know, the governor and all the other politicians in the state that control the money and the power flow and all this other stuff. We're not going to go against them. We're going to punish this guy because they're mad at him. And the punishment itself is toothless. It's just so that they can say they did it and discredit him. And because here's the punishment. They said he can't handle most criminal cases. They're going to limit the number of criminal cases he can take. And that's about it. And you might say, well, that sounds like a punishment. Not really, because all the cases he usually tries are civil cases, including the gun ban, the mag ban, etc. He'll still be able to do that because there's really not any way they can take that away from him. But he just won't be able to take most criminal cases. Here's the thing. He's a senior judge. He's already relinquished his authority when it comes to most criminal cases. He takes very few, and they're inconsequential ones. He'll still be able to take those ones. Won't be any difference. You know, they said, and criminals will be able to ask for a recusal if he's the judge on their case. Well, criminals can do that anyway. And he doesn't take their cases to begin with. So it's a nothing punishment. It doesn't change any cases he'll ever hear. All this is so that there's a black mark on his record to punish him for siding with the people against the politicians in California. It's very clear. They just want to make it look like he's the rogue judge that ruled against these gun laws, these common sense gun laws. That's what this is all about. It's about punishing him for doing his job and doing it right, for following the Constitution, for obeying the Supreme Court and following Bruin and Heller. That's what they're punishing him for. Like I said, what he did in court is nothing. I've seen way worse. In fact, that was very mild. And like I said, the father didn't complain, the attorneys did. So they really had to search for this to actually try to find something to punish him for, and this is the worst thing they could find. So in my opinion, this doesn't really make him look bad. This makes him look better, in my opinion, because he made the right people mad, and the biggest thing they could find to go after him for was a big nothing burger. And they couldn't even find themselves to be justified in putting any true punishment on him without risking their own skins. So they gave him a punishment that doesn't affect anything. This is clearly just a hit job. This is clearly just to discredit him. This is just to make him look bad. But I hate to tell people in California, it ain't going to work. Most of us aren't going to fall for it. Definitely gun owners and people that actually pay attention aren't going to fall for it. And I don't think most people pay attention to any judges getting in trouble anywhere. So I feel sorry for him that there's a black mark on his record. He didn't deserve this. All he did, like I said, was anger the wrong people in a state that is controlled by those with money and power. And he actually ruled on the side of the people in the Constitution, and they decided they were going to punish him for it. But we ain't falling for it. As far as we're concerned, he'll always be a good judge, and he'll always be Saint Benitez.